Trying harder is not going to fix you. You can't effort your way from a place of chronic pain and illness into healing. Believe me, I've tried. And you probably have too. This is what I call the effort trap. But giving up is also not the answer, even though sometimes it feels like it's the only alternative. I'm not here to tell you to stop trying, but I do want to tell you, if you're trying to do everything right and you're trying to use effort and control and force to heal your body, you're trying at the wrong thing. I want you to understand what kind of effort makes life harder and what kind of effort actually helps your body heal. Hi, I'm Ellen. I'm a chronic pain and illness counselor, and I help people find relief and healing through their nervous systems and finding ways to feel better now. If anything in this video resonates with you, there's a link to a free guide in the description box, but more on that later. It's the cycle that we get stuck in when we try to control our symptoms, but the effort of control ends up making us so stressed that it makes our symptoms worse. So you can kind of see how that could turn into a bit of a cycle. And the horrible thing is that the harder we try, the more stressed we get, the more our symptoms get worse. But then you feel guilty for not being able to control your symptoms because you're putting in all of this effort and left thinking, if I could just try harder, if I could just be better, if I could just make this work, then everything would be fine. And the reason that it backfires is because the harder we try, the more we get stuck in fight and flight, in hypervigilance, in a nervous system that is so stressed that it can't heal. For instance, I used to have a morning routine that was scheduled into 5-minute increments. I thought, if I can do everything perfectly, then I won't have a flare-up today. Can you see the kind of twisted logic in there? If I can eat the right things, get up at the right time, do the right routines, do the right exercise, I can control my body. That's the kind of effort that I'm talking about. And it's completely normal and natural and understandable to fall into this trap because in basically every other area of our lives, we are rewarded for effort. My high school motto was effort earns success. I want to tell them that to do with this topic, they were wrong. Obviously they weren't talking about this topic, but in school, in your job, hell, at the gym, effort does earn success. So it's completely understandable that this really horrible thing that's happening in your life, you would apply the same logic of like, okay, I'll just put more effort in. And it's so cruel that that just doesn't really work. The people who end up in this situation of having chronic pain or chronic illness are usually the ones who put a lot of effort into every other aspect of their lives. They have very high expectations of themselves. Often they're perfectionists. They are very hard on themselves. They put others first. Any of this ringing any bells? And so when these symptoms start to develop, they apply that same attitude to trying to control their symptoms and control their body. I really tried. I spent 5 years efforting, blood, sweat, and tears into doing everything I could to try and control my symptoms. In case I didn't say it before, I had full body chronic eczema, and you can kind of understand why I was very, very motivated. There is nothing like pain to motivate you to take action, because I was going to such extreme lengths to control and to make myself get better. And it was backfiring really badly. And it got to the point where I had to give up. And I sort of just let myself breathe for the first time in years. When I really started to lean into that attitude of, I can't control this, I'm just gonna feel as good as I can feel today. Ironically, that's when I started to have less flare-ups. That's when I started to be able to wean off my medication. If I can help someone not have to get to that breaking point before they sort of think, is there maybe another way? Then that's my job done. I would be a happy chappy. So what can you do instead? It's about shifting from fixing to feeling, from control to allowing, from war to peace. So I created this guidebook with my past self in mind. I tried to make it as pretty as possible, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm far more likely to use something if it's pretty. Each page focuses on a different aspect of how to move from controlling and self-criticism to more peace and self-acceptance. So the very first page is about just starting where you are. This isn't about self-flagellation. This isn't about saying like, oh, I'm still doing it wrong. This is just about noticing like, how hard have I been on myself lately? What am I trying to do perfectly? So just noticing those patterns, becoming aware of them is definitely the first step. Second page is promoting some kindness, starting to heal that relationship between you and your body. And this step is extremely important for making the next steps possible, because you can't change your habits without first making peace with your body and healing that relationship between you and your body, and giving yourself and your body some compassion. Once you have found just a little bit of gentleness and softness with your body, that's when you can actually have the space to notice things other than your pain. So this third page is all about finding a little bit of appreciation for your body. Maybe not even appreciation, that might be too far, that might be too extreme right now in the early stages, but just noticing what is working in my body. So when I was really sick and I was starting to change the way I was thinking about my body, going from obsessively focused on everything that didn't work, only ever thinking about my skin and how bad my skin was and how terrible everything was, going from that to redirecting my attention to, well, my lungs work very well. My hair is still nice. Actually, I think it took me a while to get there, because I did actually shave all my hair off because it just got too difficult to look after while my skin was really bad because I couldn't really shower properly. So I probably didn't talk about my hair, but I did think like, I have really nice eyebrows. I definitely thought that. I remember thinking like, yeah, I've got good eyebrows. I would make physical lists of things that were working. I was like, I've got strong joints, I've got great eyesight, my bones are really strong, I've never broken a bone. And I would just do this for 5 or 10 minutes, just making lists and just refocusing my attention on what was working. And that really, really helped. The first page, second page, third page are all leading to this last page, which is giving yourself some grace. I don't think I would have been able to straight away given myself grace. I needed to remember that parts of my body did work, and I needed to sort of lay the groundwork before I could go, I'm enough. As I am, with all my symptoms, I am worthy. I'm doing enough. I am enough. And this last page is really where the rubber hits the road of integrating all of what's come before and letting it land right where it hurts the most, in that place of perfectionism and trying to prove self-worth. Softening that, letting that go a little bit, and getting yourself to the point where you can say it and believe it. I am enough. So I really like this guide. I'm actually pretty proud of it. And I really wish I had had something like this when I was really sick, because I think it would have been helpful. So yeah, I hope that someone out there finds this as helpful as I think I would have in the past. This is something that you really need to experiment with for yourself and see what feels right. Because that's the thing that will tell you if you're on the right track or not, is how it feels. So I would really encourage you to go down in the description, grab the guide. If you're in the mood for another video, this one would probably be helpful, all about fear avoidance behavior. So important for people with chronic pain and chronic illness to understand. Very, very helpful on your journey as well. So check out that video next, and I will see you in the next one.